Growing up, I wasn't able to talk about my emotions. I'm not going to say I wasn't able, but if I was upset, I was told to, like get over it or go to your room. If I disagreed with something, it would be a simple, like, because I said so. Pretty much emotions just weren't up for discussion. In my case, it was all about like my mom, my stepdad. It was all about them just saying what I say goes pretty much. But now as a mom, like I'm finding myself in moments where like my child is frustrated, crying, and like just asking why kind of thing. And I'm trying to not repeat the cycle like because I said so, but I'm still working on my emotional intelligence. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Like, what is emotional intelligence? And I'm going to give you a quick little definition, I guess you can say, for emotional intelligence. And it's the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our emotions while also being aware of the emotions of others. And stuff like self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, communication. And as we all know, self-awareness is basically understanding why we feel the way we do. Self-regulation is learning to respond, not just react. Empathy is tuning into others' emotions and, not just behaviors. And then communication is pretty straightforward. It's expressing emotions in a way that builds connection. Honestly, it's not easy. Like, I think I'm not going to say I've been conditioned, but because I didn't really get to express my emotions or I guess I ended up like, I've suppressed my emotions. And I'm even doing that like as an adult. Like sometimes like when it's time to communicate on how I feel about certain things or if I'm in like a disagreement, I guess you could say, I automatically shut down. And that's not, a healthy form of communication. I am one that likes to more so ponder on my thoughts versus just spewing out things because I'm not the type that I'm going to say something because I'm trying to hurt you. So maybe, that's a good thing that I do shut down sometimes. But in the moment of, feeling uncomfortable, I need to ask myself, like, what would the child in me have wanted to hear? Or I could just ask myself, let me put myself in someone else's shoes. Like, how are they feeling that, I'm doing this? Or how are they feeling, about the conversation that we're having? And that can be as simple as like, I see you're upset. Like, let's figure this thing out together. Let's get down to the bottom of it. We're a team kind of thing. But I also know that, my patience sometimes runs thin. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have 4 children, but I need to remember that, anger it's just like a surface emotion. Like what is beneath the anger? Like what is actually like stressing me out or, causing this like burnout that, moms feel and even I feel sometimes. So instead of like snapping, I'm going to just, take a deep breath. Like, what do I actually need right now? Or how can I actually help you right now? So that's why I want to talk about how we can, build emotional intelligence, even as a mom, because that's what I am. I'm trying to work on, my parenting. So that will be maybe just like I was saying before, pausing before I react. Clearly children, they know our triggers. They're going to keep triggering you until you figure it out. Why is this triggering you so much? So just take a deep breath. Like, don't just respond in the moment. Even say like, I just need a second to think and walk away. And then also, validate how you're feeling and also how someone else is feeling or how they're feeling. So instead of like just dismissing the feelings altogether, you can acknowledge the feelings and say, I know you're upset. Let's talk about it real quick. Like, how can we get down to the bottom of these things? And then also just give yourself just some, I guess I would say, give yourself some grace. Think about what it is that you want as a parent. Write down, or either text to myself or in my note, what would I have wished that my parents had said to me? And maybe just trying to start saying those things instead of just automatically because I said so. And then I definitely do this. I always apologize. Like if I know that I have gotten a little out of character, I'll say, like mommy was so frustrated. I really apologize. I did not mean to yell at you like that. I'm so sorry. I'm really going to try to do better. And then I'll also say something like, do you forgive me? Can I have a hug? Or, what can we do next time so that we don't have these kind of situations happen? Because I'm trying to teach my children, emotional intelligence. So if I'm trying to teach them emotional intelligence, I have to also be that example for them. So, I do say things like, I notice you're feeling, a little frustrated, or, I feel like maybe we should do this instead of this, or, something like that. I'm trying to help them understand and name their emotions versus just suppressing their emotions, because I don't want them to fear me, like if I'm yelling at you, you're like, you're a kid, like if you see that from a parent over and over and over again, of course, you're going to start to feel like, well, I'm not going to say they will, but they could feel, unsafe, or that they can't come to me and talk to me about certain things. So I definitely don't want that. But we are like the first or I will say I am at least the first generation, like really breaking this cycle, like learning emotional intelligence as an adult and passing it down to our kids. That's why we have all these gentle parenting, techniques now. And I will say, to a certain extent, I do try to gentle parent. Like my first response is not anger and raising my voice. That's not my first response. But I wish that my first response was being more understanding versus, okay, because I'm frustrated, you're frustrated. Now, what is that going to do, So it's a bit uncomfortable. It's hard, but it's going to be worth it in the end to understand. We all have bad days, okay? Like not everyone is going to have a good day. I get it. But at the same time, what are we doing in those bad times that we're able to learn from it and not try to repeat that same scenario? Like we want our kids to listen to us. We want them to trust us. We want them to feel safe with us. And I feel like that all just starts with emotional intelligence. So for me and for you that's listening, the next time, you catch yourself responding in the way that maybe your parents did, or your grandparents did, or your aunt or uncles did, just take a deep breath, take a little pause, choose something different. And I think just one little small change like that will end up changing your whole outlook on whatever the situation at hand is. I'm looking to have deeper relationships. I'm looking to, understand my family's needs, and I want to be able to navigate conflicts efficiently or effectively, I could say. So, that's all I have to say today. Thanks for listening. I hope you gained something from this. I hope, you want to do better, because because being stagnant, it's only hurting yourself. So subscribe, let me know in the comments. Did you grow up with the parent or, whoever took care of you, your guardian? Did you grow up with them telling you, oh, because I said so, and, that was final? Or did they speak to you in a way so that, you could express yourself? Just let me know.